topic is erosion and disposition, and for our lesson, we will be doing an entry ticket, which you guys will be given questions to write down to get your prior knowledge of this topic. Next, we will be doing a video, and you guys will be taking notes on the video. Following that, we'll be doing a drawing activity. This is why you guys are in groups. Your groups will be creating a hypothesis and results to the streaming table that we'll be doing, and finally we'll be ending with the class discussion for it. So on the piece of paper, this is the entry ticket question. You don't have to write the question, you just write the number and your response to it. So the first question is, what do you think erosion is? And so you guys go ahead, take a minute, write down. So I'll read the following questions and then you guys can take your time to respond. So number 2 is, what causes erosion? What do you think is this disposition, and what causes disposition? Okay, so I'm gonna call on a few of you to kind of give your explanation to the question. So I'm gonna call on Cynthia for number 1. What do you think erosion is?
So I put that erosion is when something slowly over time begins to deteriorate.
Okay. Emmanuel, what do you think causes erosion?
I think like the chemical or something.
Okay. Chemical balance, more of like the nature of it, kind of our environment does cause erosion over time. It doesn't just happen all in one sitting. Alexa, what do you think is disposition?
Definition refers to, like, I guess, materials in nature being deposited somewhere else via natural forces.
Okay, okay. And then for what causes deposition? Diego.
Maybe when maybe the I don't know when it like goes down or decreases.
So Alexa, do you wanna kind of say it again, what your answer was for this position, and then from there you kind of could elaborate on kind of giving a idea of what could cause it?
Oh yeah, for number 3, definition refers to such materials, like, I guess, anything you find in nature, like stone or something, being deposited somewhere else via natural forces.
So can you see that again? Sorry.
Yeah. Deposition refers to, like, any materials, I guess, you find in nature, like stone, for example, being deposited somewhere else via natural forces.
So if it's being deposited somewhere, what has to happen for that to be deposited somewhere else? So can you think of anything kind of that will be created for the soil or for the rock to be located somewhere else in that sense? If not, I could ask someone else. Yes, go ahead, help me out.
Well,
And yes, this position is caused by weathering. So as he said, water, air, wind shifts all the sediments of rock and soil to other locations. So it could be found in different locations. For example, like the Grand Canyon was created by weathering. It didn't just happen over time. So like rocks tend to, lose some pieces of sediment that they have, but it's through over time. So that's the entry ticket question. These are the main definitions of erosion, disposition, and weathering. So erosion transports the rocks and soil across the Earth's surface, while disposition is the process of which sediment, soil, rocks are added to landforms. And weathering occurs when a rock is broken into smaller pieces, and which is like by the physical means of it. So dirt, rock, soil is condensed to smaller and is created for others. So this is the video that we'll be watching. It's a Bill Nye video. You guys can take notes on the same piece of paper as your entry ticket, and we'll probably only be watching 14 minutes of the video. Just kind of write down what you hear, you think is like very interesting and cool about it. You guys just discussed with your peers about the video. I know it's like the video is a little weird, but like growing up, I felt like Bill Nye was like a really good sense of videos to kind of understand a lot of science topics. But so next we're gonna do a 3, 2, 1 activity. You can just do it right on the back of your paper. So 3, 2, 1 is 3 things you learned. 2 is 2 things you wonder, and 1 is 1 thing you want to know more about or would like to know more about. Each group, give me their prediction. Not everyone at once. Go ahead, yeah.
Do you think the rocks being worn down and get like to the middle that it has a lot of support?
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
So, we think that in the time we have for rock creation, solid substances like stone won't erode, but granular things like soil and sand will start going and cover away.
Okay, that's a good one. Go ahead.
Our group predicts that the stream will go down and take some soil and maybe some rocks with it.
The group in the back, do you guys have your answers?
Not yet.
No? Okay. So at the moment, you guys could talk amongst your guys' selves and to create one. So what evidence do you guys believe will, or you guys don't have the evidence yet, obviously. So what we would be doing is you guys would come up and kind of like make an observation of the stream table, and then from there, create an idea of what will happen, and then I will obviously pour the water in to see what will happen. So you guys can come up and kind of just see it really quick, and then with this, you guys will observe and find evidence to how, evidence to support your guys' claim in a sense. So what do you guys predict will be the result of this investigation? You guys go ahead and discuss upon your groups. If needed. Water. I'm gonna start from the top. So it's gonna create one sense of pattern. So do you guys think it'll create like another sort of pattern if the water is already kind of molded into one spot? Because it seems like it molded into one spot. So do you think the water will like now move onto the other side or still continue to go down even though I poured it from the same exact angle?
Probably the same.
The same? Okay, so if I pour it from the top. as you can see, like the rocks from the top are now like, just, the dirt kind of moved down with the water, cause the rocks are just now together, and the dirt has now eroded down the stream. And so you guys will be just observing and gathering your observations and just writing them down on your paper. Anyone want chocolate milk? Okay, so you guys were right, it did continue to make a pattern along one side, and it didn't really grab any of the water, some of the water didn't go onto the other side, so that did create a type of pattern that was obviously, obviously created. So you guys can now just write down your observation and any evidence that you guys, gathered from this stream table. So you guys can head back to your seats.